Hello everybody, I hope you're having an amazing day. I am Workbreak MMA and today I'll be giving you my predictions and breakdowns for UFC Fight Night Sterling vs. Zalal, coming to you from the UFC's Meta Apex, where former 135-pound champion Aljamain Sterling battles the young and up-and-coming Yusuf Zalal, where it should be a very technical and high-class fight in the main event, and in the co-main event, we have a brawl between Alexander Hernandez and Rafa Garcia to see who potentially gets a shot into the top 15 of 155 pounds. And a lot of high-level grapplers and close fights on paper throughout this card. Should be a very entertaining night of fights, so let's get right into the card. Now opening up the card at 185 pounds, we have Cedricus Dumas. He is 10-4 with 4 KOs, 2 submissions, and 4 decision wins. He is 30 years old, come by way of Pensacola, Florida. He is my 67th ranked middleweight in the UFC, and he will be facing Jackson McVee. He is 6-2 with 3 KOs and 3 submissions. He is 27 years old, come by way of Phoenix, Arizona. He is my 66th ranked middleweight in the UFC. Dumas is a powerful kickboxer with okay boxing, nice kicks as well early. His grappling game, though, isn't really there. He can't be out-muscled and out-physicaled on the ground. And Jackson McVee is a big middleweight with solid kickboxing, okay boxing, clinch game is pretty good, and on the ground he is also pretty ass. This fight is pretty funny. I don't think either one of these fighters really belong in the UFC right now. But give me Jackson McVee because he is bigger, more powerful, better in the clinch, and also just has the better chin in this fight as well. I can't trust Dumas ever. He's been in trouble a lot of times in the last few years with the law. And also I see him blazed a lot on Instagram, so I question how committed he is to MMA. So give me Jackson McVee to win this fight by a second round TKO after piecing him up on the feet and in the clinch. Now up next at women's 135 pounds, we have Mayra Bueno Silva. She is 10-6-1 with 1 KO, 7 submissions, and 2 decision wins. She is 34 years old, come by way of Sao Paulo, Brazil. She is my 18th ranked women's bantamweight in the UFC, and she will be facing Michelle Montague. She is 7-0 with 6 submissions and 1 decision win. She is 32 years old, come by way of Mata Mata, Australia. She is my 19th ranked women's bantamweight in the UFC. Bueno Silva is a good grappler with good jiu-jitsu, not so good wrestling game, a gritty brawling striking style on the feet, as well as some power in her hands as well. And Montague is a physical, strong wrestler with solid takedowns, good judo-based trips and throws, and decent boxing as well as some pop in her shots. And I'll be honest, Mayra Bueno Silva might be the worst title challenger in recent memory. She doesn't have a good striking game, and I'll be honest, neither does Michelle Montague, but Michelle Montague, I feel like, has a little bit more power on the feet. And in this matchup, it's jiu-jitsu and Silva versus the dominant wrestling and Montague on the ground. And give me Michelle Montague to out-grapple her and out-damage her on the feet because Silva has the tendency to not move her head at all and look like a prime Ronda Rousey. And on the ground, I can see Michelle Montague also beating her up pretty well. So give me Michelle Montague to beat her up everywhere and submit her in round 3 by a rear naked choke and get a jump into the top 15 of the rankings. Now coming up at men's 125 pounds, we have Rafa Filho. He is 17-4 with 5 KOs, 11 submissions, and 1 decision win. He is 32 years old, come by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He is my 19th ranked flyweight in the UFC, and he'll be facing Lucas Rocha. He is 18-2 with 10 KOs, 4 submissions, and 4 decision wins. He is 25 years old, come by way of Amazonas, Brazil. He is my 40th ranked flyweight in the UFC. Rocha is a good striker with a nice Muay Thai game, decent boxing combinations, and an overall okay defensive wrestling game. And Rafa Filho is a strong grappler with good jiu-jitsu skills and some decent pop in his shots as well on the feet. This, in my mind, should be much closer in the betting odds because I feel like Rocha, he is young and he is developing pretty good. He has good Muay Thai, but Filho is the favorite for the reason. His grappling is good and he can out-grapple and grapple with almost anyone right now in this division. So I'm going to pick Rafa Filho to tire out Rocha throughout this fight and get himself a semi-dominant decision win. On the first 3 fights, I'm pretty confident in Rafa Filho. I think he should win, but in the striking, I think it's going to be closer than people think. And Michelle Montague and Jackson McVee, I'm pretty confident on them as well. It's just I can't really guarantee them a win. for different reasons. McPhee hasn't won in the UFC, and Michelle Montagu is facing a decent level of competition compared to her last few opponents. So I have her up a little higher than Jackson, but this is my betting confidence right now. Now up next at 170 pounds, we have Max Griffin. He is 20-12 with 9 KOs, 2 submissions, and 9 decision wins. He is 40 years old, come by way of Sacramento, California. He is my 44th ranked welterweight in the UFC, and he'll be facing the debuting by short notice Victor Venezuela. He is 13-4 with 7 KOs, 2 submissions, and 4 decision wins. He is 32 years old, born in the country of Chile. I just now realized in the editing of this video that I've been saying Victor Valenzuela's name wrong the entire time. So his name is Victor Valenzuela, not Victor Venezuela. That's my bad. I just didn't want to go back and fix it in my video. Max Griffin is a good boxer with good combinations and power in his hands as well. He has solid takedown defense and an okay offensive grappling game as well. He can be very timid though throughout his fights, tending to go to the decision. And Venezuela is a pressure-heavy striker with good boxing, solid kicks, and an okay defensive wrestling game overall. Griffin has faced much better competition and can out-technique the younger fighter here, I believe. Venezuela is a dog, and he is tough, but I think Max Griffin can just pull off a smart veteran performance here and get a nice win for himself. So give me Max Griffin to outstrike him and outsmart his opponent here and get himself a unanimous decision win. Now up next at 185 pounds, we have Rodolfo Vieira. He is 11-4 with 1 KO, 9 submissions, and 1 decision win. He is 36 years old, come by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He is my 42nd ranked middleweight in the UFC, and he'll be facing Eric McConaughey. He is 10-4-1 with 4 KOs, 3 submissions, and 3 decision wins. He is 35 years old, come by way of Glendale, Arizona. He is my 56th ranked middleweight in the UFC. Rodolfo Vieira is a great BJJ grappler with a lot of world championships on his jiu-jitsu resume. His jiu-jitsu game is great, his wrestling is solid, and his striking is okay, mainly in the boxing with some solid low kicks as well. And Eric McConaughey is a solid, well-rounded fighter, good in the boxing, solid overall grappling game with a solid wrestling offensive game as well. He has a good gas tank and durability as well. He's kind of like when you get a certain amount of points on a video game to make a character, so you kind of just make him as well balanced as you can while not making him good at anything. And this is kind of a tough fight, and I'm not big on either guy at the moment, but on the feet, I think McConaughey is better. His defensive grappling game isn't bad either, and this is probably one of the toughest fights on the whole card for me to really pick, but I'm going to go Eric McConaughey as the underdog. I like his striking more because it's faster and more powerful, and also his boxing, I think, overall is just better as well. And as long as he just doesn't give up his neck in a grappling situation for a submission attempt for Vieira, I feel like this is his fight to win. So give me Eric McConaughey to outstrike his way to a decision win, getting himself into the win column. Now coming up the feature prelim at women's 115 pounds, we have Talita Alencar. She is 7-1-1 with 4 submissions and 3 decision wins. She is 35 years old, born in Brazil. She is my 24th ranked women's strawweight in the UFC, and she'll be facing Julia Pilarstri. She is 14-5 with 5 KOs, 3 submissions, and 6 decision wins. She is 28 years old, come by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. She is my 20th ranked women's strawweight in the UFC. Alencar is a great BJJ grappler with championships in various world-class grappling competitions, and a solid wrestling and clinch game where she can get her opponents down to the ground. Her striking is okay with a kickboxing style and okay boxing combinations overall. She is rather small though. And Pilarstri is a good striker, nice boxing, good kicks everywhere, and her grappling on the offensive side is okay, and her BJJ isn't bad at all either. She just doesn't have fantastic takedown defense. She's kind of tightened it up in her last few fights. And the striking of Pilarstri, it's going to be the striking of Pilarstri versus the grappling of Alencar, and Alencar has insane pressure on the feet and shoots a lot of takedowns, and I think she can get some of them. But I do believe if it stays on the feet, Pilarstri will out-damage her and piece her up in the boxing. I think both of them will have success in this fight, and I think this fight will go to a split decision. But I trust Pilarstri more. She is younger, the better striker, and the bigger and potentially stronger fighter in this fight early on. So in a very close fight, Give me Julia Pilastri to win this fight by a split decision where she wins off of damage. Now back to my betting chart. I'm putting Eric McConaughey and Julia Pilastri on the close fight but confidence part here, but they're going to be slightly less confident than my picks on Montague and McVee. And then Max Griffin, he is 40 years old and he has lost a few fights, so I don't know if he is still as good as he once was, especially 2-3 years ago. Venezuela's young, he's hungry. He did get whooped on the Contender Series against a really good fighter that we need to watch out for in the future. And Oliveira, I'm drawing a blank on his first name right now at welterweight. But I think Max Griffin should win, but I'm just less confident than anyone else on this card. Now coming up the main card opener at heavyweight, we have Marcus Bruchena. He is 5-2-1 with 1 KO and 4 submission wins. He is 36 years old, come by way of Sao Paulo, Brazil. He is my 27th ranked heavyweight in the UFC, and he will be facing Ryan Spann. He is 23-11 with 6 KOs, 14 submissions, and 3 decision wins. He is 34 years old, come by way of Memphis, Tennessee. He is my 25th ranked heavyweight in the UFC. Marcus Bruchena is a world-class level BJJ grappler, but he struggles to get fighters down to the ground. His wrestling isn't too good. And on the feet, he has okay boxing with decent pop in his hands, but he doesn't have great defense on the feet and can be hit. While Spann is a former 205-pounder with fast striking early, dangerous boxing, decent low kicks, and his grappling is solid with his wrestling and BJJ overall, but sometimes he's stupid as shit and can get stuck and caught in submissions and fights. Spann is the better striker clearly in this fight, especially early on in rounds 1 and round 2. But let me make this very clear. I think that Marcus Bruchena's chin is much better than Ryan Spann's, and I think Bruchena's chin can hold up to more damage. And on the ground, if Spann gets on his back, Bruchena gets him in a good position. It could be over, but Bruchena's a good grappler, and it just sucks because we haven't seen it at all. And he has just really rough-looking wrestling, really rough-looking clinch game. It doesn't look like he can get fighters down to the ground. So it's going to be a striking fight because he just can't get fighters down. And in a striking fight, I can trust his chin more, but I can't trust his striking more. I think Ryan Spann is clearly the better striker. I think he has the faster shots, better boxing combinations, and can keep him at range with his decent kicks. So give me Ryan Spann to out-damage Marcus Bruchena clearly throughout this fight, especially early on, and get Ryan Spann a semi-dominant decision win, getting himself back into the win column. Now coming up next at women's 135 pounds, what should be a title shot eliminator. First we have Norma Dumont. She is 13-2 with 2 submissions and 11 decision wins. She is 35 years old, come by way of Brazil. She is my 4th ranked women's bantamweight in the UFC, and she'll be facing Jocelyn Edwards. She is 17-6 with 7 KOs, 5 submissions, and 5 decision wins. She is 30 years old, come by way of Panama. She is my 9th ranked women's bantamweight in the UFC. Dumont is a good grappler with good timing on her takedowns and a strong clinch game as well. And on the feet, she is a decent boxer with okay low kicks. And Edwards is a technical striker with a solid Muay Thai-esque striking style with power in her hands, good boxing combinations, and fast kicks as well. While her ground game has improved in the last 2 years in my mind, this is clearly the best wrestler she has faced in quite some time. And Edwards has finished her last 4 opponents, while Dumont has had 2 finishes in 15 fights. This is the ultimate finisher in my mind versus the decision merchant, and on the feet, I believe Edwards is the bigger threat with her kickboxing and her more powerful hands. And Dumont, I think, will have the slight grappling advantage on the ground. I think I kind of just have to go with my feeling here, and I think Edwards will get an upset here. I see Dumont having issues getting her down to the ground early on in this fight. And I feel like Jocelyn Edwards is just clearly the more powerful striker and the more punishing striker on the feet. So I see her out damaging her in a rather close fight. And I wouldn't be shocked if she stuns or even wobbles Norma Dumont at some point early on in this fight and gets a clear win on one of the rounds because she did that. So give me Jocelyn Edwards to win this fight by a decision, getting herself the biggest win of her life, outstriking Norma Dumont, and getting herself possibly a title shot by the end of the year. Now in my mind, a battle of 2 top 15 bantamweights right now. At 135 pounds, we have Montel Jackson. He is 15-3 with 8 KOs, 1 submission, and 6 decision wins. He is 33 years old, come by way of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He is my 14th ranked bantamweight in the UFC, and he'll be facing Raoni Barcelos. He is 21-5 with 8 KOs, 3 submissions, and 10 decision wins. He is 38 years old, come by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He is my 13th ranked bantamweight in the UFC. Montel Jackson is a tall boxer with fast hands early, solid kicks, and on the ground he isn't great. He can get taken down and out-controlled, but his takedown defense is overall pretty solid. While Barcelos is a good grappler with good wrestling, a good jiu-jitsu game as well, and on the feet he has a great pressure boxing style with solid kicks as well, and a solid overall defensive game where he doesn't really get hit a whole lot. This, in my mind, is can Jackson knock out Barcelos in the first 7 minutes or succumb to the pressure and the strength of Barcelos later in the fight? Jackson has the reach and he can try to step off the center line and counter Barcelos as he comes in. But other than that, I think it's Barcelos' fight to win. I think he can get him down. I think he can out-control him. And I think he has some really good ground and pound as well that he can get some damage off to win rounds. And in my mind, I think he'll also have some boxing success late in this fight because if he keeps the pressure and the pace, I don't think Montel Jackson's cardio will hold up later in this fight. So give me Raoni Barcelos to win this fight by a 29-28 decision and finally get himself into the UFC's top 15 rankings. An update on my betting confidence chart, I have Ryan Spann at the very bottom because he can make some mental errors in his fight and he could get submitted or caught because of it, but I think he still is the better overall MMA fighter in his fight. And then I have Jocelyn Edwards and Raoni Barcelos both towards the top of the close fight but confidence picks here. I think they're both have decent chances to win their fight, but they're both facing semi-talented, pretty talented competition and both have ways of losing. I just think they're overall the better fighter in the matchup, and I think they can get the win. Now coming up in the feature bout of the night at 135 pounds, a major fight of the night contender on this card. We have Dangerous Davy Grant. He is 15-8 with 4 KOs, 7 submissions, and 4 decision wins. He is 40 years old, come by way of Bishop Auckland, England. He is my 31st ranked bantamweight in the UFC, and he'll be facing the debuting by way of the best Dana White Contender Series fight of all time, Adrian Luna Martinetti. He is 17-1 with 4 KOs, 6 submissions, and 7 decision wins. He is 30 years old, come by way of Ecuador. Dangerous Davy is a gritty vet with a funky striking style with looping punches and sneaky good power on the feet, with a solid kickboxing base as well, and on the ground he is solid defensively and offensively. He is a good wrestler and can pull off some crafty submissions, while Martinetti is a good well-rounded fighter with a scrappy striking style, good overall kickboxing, great in the clinch, and on the ground he is a good wrestler with a good jiu-jitsu game as well. Davy Grant is a tough debut for anyone coming into the UFC, and stylistically I like this fight a lot. They're both scrappy on the feet and they will both land. And this is a very close fight in my mind. And on the ground, it is a tough one to choose as well on who is better. But I think Martinetti is the better grappler in this fight, and I think that's probably where it's going to go. He is stronger, and he can smother him if it's needed. So give me Adrian Luna Martinetti to win this fight by a close decision where he is rather close on the feet, but he decides to wrestle and grapple a little bit more and possibly control Davy Grant for portions of rounds to secure himself a decision win in his debut. Now coming up, the co-main event, a tough scrap between two fighters trying to get into a shot at the top 15 rankings at 155 pounds. We have Rafa Garcia. He is 18-4 with 2 KOs, 8 submissions, and 7 decision wins. He is 31 years old, come by way of Baja, California, Mexico. He is my 25th ranked lightweight in the UFC, and he will be facing Alexander Hernandez. He is 18-8 with 8 KOs, 2 submissions, and 8 decision wins. He is 33 years old, come by way of San Antonio, Texas. He is my 24th ranked lightweight in the UFC. Garcia is a tough pressure boxer with good boxing combinations, decent power in his hands, and okay kicks overall. And he is also a solid grappler with some submission threat on the ground and some decent overall wrestling. While Hernandez is a strong grappler with good takedowns, solid clinch game, and some good ground and pound as well. His striking is minimal, but it is fast and powerful with some good low kicks and some solid boxing with a pretty good overhand as well. And Garcia got into a tough scrap in his last fight with Jared Gordon, and he ended up getting himself a third round KO in a back and forth brawl. But Gordon got hit by a car and messed up his knee the day before the fight with Garcia and still made it close and with pretty much one knee as well. If Jared Gordon got injured in the fight, before the fight actually, and gave him a tough fight, I think he is going to have a rough night against a healthy Alexander Hernandez. So Alexander Hernandez is faster and more powerful on the feet. He is also pretty patient as well. I think he'll wait for his shot. And I think he is the better grappler as well. So give me Alexander Hernandez to win this fight by a second round TKO, showing us kind of a masterclass performance, possibly getting himself a shot into the top 15 of the rankings. Now it is time for the main event, what should be a very technical and high-level fight at 145 pounds. We have former 135-pound champion Aljamain the Funk Master Sterling. He is 25-5 with 3 KOs, 8 submissions, and 13 decision wins. He is 36 years old, come by way of Cortland, New York. He is my 4th-ranked featherweight in the UFC, and he will be facing the prospect Yusuf Zalal. He is 18-5-1 with 4 KOs, 10 submissions, and 4 decision wins. He is 29 years old, born in Casablanca, Morocco. He is my 8th-ranked featherweight in the UFC. Aljamain Sterling is a pressure-heavy fighter with some of the best grappling in the division, elite jiu-jitsu game, great wrestling with great scrambles as well. On the feet, he has a good kickboxing style with lengthy kicks that he likes to keep you at range with some solid boxing as well. While Zalal is a well-rounded technical kickboxer with great footwork, okay boxing, great kicks and knees all around, and on the ground he is hard to keep down and has some solid offensive wrestling ability as well. Like I said, defensively he is hard to get down to the ground, and he is pretty hard to keep down there as well whenever you get him down. This is such a close fight on paper. I think this is going to be a very technical fight, and it will be a good watch. On the feet it is very close, but the footwork of Zalal and the speed makes me think that he is better in the striking. And on the ground, once again, the footwork of Zalal will help, but Sterling is just better in the grappling. He has better back takes, his control is high level, and he can out-control him in this fight, I believe. But I think this is going to be a very close fight, and it will go all 5 rounds to a decision, and it'll probably be a split decision in a back-and-forth fight. But I can just trust Aljamain Sterling more. I think he can out-grapple him and counter Zalal as well on the feet as he's coming in. Zalal doesn't like to exchange or even look to engage in fighting sometimes in his fights, and I think that is going to be a very tough look for him here because Aljamain Sterling never stops pressuring and never stops putting him on the back foot. So give me Aljamain Sterling to out-pressure, slightly out-grapple, and slightly out-strike him to a split decision win where Aljamain Sterling might eventually get a title shot at 145 pounds. But I think Aljamain Sterling can get himself a win here. Give me Aljo by decision. On my betting confidence chart here, I have Alexander Hernandez and Rafa Filho, and the high confidence should be guaranteed part there. Those are my 2 most confident picks on the card. I think their styles match up well in their matchup. And Michelle Montague, Raoni Barcelos, and Jocelyn Edwards are at the top part of close fight but confidence. It's just I'm not as confident as those top 2. And Aljamain Sterling, Adrian Luna Martinetti, and Jackson McVee, they're in the middle part of my close fight but confidence picks there, but I'm not as confident as Montague, Barcelos, and Edwards, obviously. And then McConaughey and Pilarstri are at the bottom of the close fight but confidence picks here. I'm confident on them winning, but I'm not as confident as clearly as many people on the card right now. And at the very bottom, I have Max Griffin and Ryan Spann. Max Griffin is old. Ryan Spann is kind of dumb. So we'll see if they can get a win. Those are my least confident picks on the card, and here's my whole betting confidence chart here. Do as you wish. Thank you all for making it to the end of the video. As always, make sure to like, comment, and share to one of your buddies, and I will be releasing a video here soon, so keep an eye out for that. I hope you all have an amazing day.